welcome. It's half time. Everton 2, Leicester City 0. Get your views in. Get your comments in. What do you want to discuss? Do you want to discuss a pretty torrid start to the first half? That first 20 minutes were not good. Do you want to talk about the penalty? Was it a penalty? Wasn't it a penalty? Why does VAR take 2 or 3 minutes to... If they can't make the decision in 2 or 3 minutes, well, surely it's not a penalty. Get your comments in. I'll try and get as many on as possible. Rudy says, woeful start. Alexander on YouTube is saying, we're playing terrible at the moment. Billy Payne says, rubbish. I thought it was slightly better the last 10, 12 minutes of that half, but am I being a bit generous? They look more likely to score, if I'm honest. Shay says, amazing game this. I think a hint of sarcasm. Kevin says, has Brendan lost the dressing room? I think, Brendan, you're going to start asking questions like that. Gray lived the dream says absolute garbage. Carlos says disgraceful. Where is Barnes? What would you guys do at half time if you're Brendan Rodgers? We saw what Frank Lampard did on Sunday against us. He went, that is not good enough. You're not good enough to wear this shirt if you're going to play like that. And he took players off at half time. Should Brendan take players off? Who should he put on? Who should he not? Carl says here, I want to know why we start Albrighton and put crosses into the box when we have no big target man rather than have Graham. I thought Albrighton's put some decent balls into the mixer. They're a bit, Carl, I think they're a little bit like, get it in there. They're in the right area, but you've got Jamie Vardy in there. It's not exactly where he wants it. He wants it a lot more. Mike says, head's gone. Can he make 11 changes at half time? Keep getting your comments in. So many coming in. Adam says, got to bring on, let's see if we can get Adams up there. Got to bring on Maddison, take Tielemans off and bring Perez on. Take Albrighton off. We've got to make some changes, Adam, I think. This is not, we're 2-0 down. We are 2-0 down. Forget the FA Cup being 1-0 down. We're 2-0 down. We've got to get some points in here. Maddison for Pratt and Graham for Albrighton. We were all saying before the game, though, we thought Pratt was the missing link in there. But again, Kevin is saying, I'm all for this in the last 10, 15 minutes. If we're still 2-0 down with 10, 15 minutes to go, Kevin, you've got to do something. You've got to put somebody like Morgan up front and get us something. Somebody on the Facebook group is saying, kiss goodbye to the top four. We're embarrassing. Dan says, what a state. I can't see where the goals are coming from at all. The formation just isn't working. Vardy's had nothing again, has he, today? Has Vardy had a shot? Has Vardy had much of a chance since we came down from lockdown? John Lloyd is saying he's got one word for it. Sean saying bring Slimani on. Again, we go through the Slimani debate, Sean. It's just pointless debate because we don't have him. We own him. We pay most of his wages. We can't play him. Stop playing one up front, Mark says. Vardy has hardly seen the ball. Do you play two up front then, Marge? You put Nacho on there. Richard saying, I need 5 changes and we need to get 3 strikers on. Jamie from the Fox's Arms is saying no midfield. Jamie, listen, we picked the team before the game started, Jamie. What is going on with it? I mean, Lachlan is saying one word, pure. Where do you want to go with that? Chris saying 10 touches for Vardy in the half. And one of those touches, I remember, was a pass to Albrighton, which gave Albrighton no chance. So that means what were the other 9? Can't remember. Keep getting your comments in. So many coming in. Shane is saying here, VAR is so inconsistent. If that's a penalty, then we should have had the one against Brighton. I agree. I would say neither were penalties, if I'm honest with you, Shane. But you give one, you give the other. What I don't get with VAR today is why does it take 2? If anybody timed it, that felt like it was over 2 minutes. So if they're watching it backwards and forwards, surely they're not convinced if they don't know what we're doing. Mark is saying we're not playing to Vardy's strengths, which I think everybody would agree with. Keep getting your comments in. 12 crosses in, says Mark, but no target man. Mick saying 43 minutes in, and I forgot Barnes is even on the field. Chris is changing formations around, going 3-5-2. I think we've got to do something different, Chris. Or Brighton and Chilwell as wing backs, Morgan at the back, Nacho or Perez supporting up top. Chris Cambiasso, let's get your comment up there if I can find it, Chris. The lads have the ability, but still off the speed of the game. Too many wayward passes, pressure them, stick Casper up top of Morgan Cole. Oh, dearie me. Where's the fearless element gone, says Trishul. I agree with you, Trishul. You know, we're back into, forget fearless foxes, we're back into keep the faith sort of stuff. Steve, I agree with you. It's not over till it's a 3-2 win. I'm hopeful. And we need that goal. We've got to score next, haven't we? That is what we've got to do. And then who knows what happens. Jason is saying Justin looks a bit out of his depth. Do you think so? Does anybody else agree with Jason there, that James Justin is looking a little bit out of depth? I think he certainly needs people around him to help him a little bit more. The VAR papers over the crack, says Ben. We were 1-0 down anyway with a slow start. Vardy doesn't even look hungry, says Alex. Peter saying it's a joke. What's going on? Sean is saying the VAR was about 2.5 minutes. It can't take you. Let me do the maths. That's 150 seconds to watch it. How many times do you watch it in 2.5 minutes? Surely, if you have to watch it that many times from that many angles, you sat and debate it. You'd have to go on the fact that it's not a penalty. Chris, I agree. Where are all the Pratt, Yuri Barnes fans? I'm a big fan of Dennis Pratt. I think he's been a good addition into the team recently, but it's just not happening today. Should have made the subs at 2-0. Clearly not working. Going to be really interesting to see what Brendan does at halftime. If it was me, especially seeing what Frank Lampard did, I think you've got to send a message out there and say, I'm taking players off. He's got to make changes. Don't leave it till the 70th minute. You've got to get out there. I would not change anybody at halftime. I would give everybody a rollicking and say, you've literally, I'm telling you, you've got 8 minutes, 10 minutes tops. And if it ain't changed after 10 minutes, I'm just making changes, big changes. And I would give them what for. Chris is saying we've only scored one goal in 3. We ain't going to score 3 in this lot. Couldn't do the business in a brothel. Chris, we've only scored 1 goal in 4 games since the restart, if you take into consideration the FA Cup, of course. John is saying the vultures will be circling for Wilf, only one who can hold his head up high. Reese is saying he'd make 3 subs minimum. We've got to make them pretty quickly, haven't we? I would just not quite do it at half time, although it does send a message out. Pete is saying, I think what we're all thinking, really missing Ricardo down the right. Rogers will do nothing, says Mick Paget. Mick, if he leaves it till the 70th minute, that is too long. He's got to do it either at half time or 10 minutes after. We are talking about the handball, but what about the goal? The goal on Sionku, comment on that if you want to. Nick says it's pathetic. Has Tielemans touched the ball yet? Must admit there are a few players I'm not even sure on the pitch. Load of poo-poo, to put it quite politely. Thanks, Nick. Thanks for being polite. It's much better. Chelsea have the luxury of a bench. We don't have the 5 of the same quality. Listen, if I'm Damari Gray, if I'm Kelechi Iheanacho, if I'm Perez, who signed for us for 30 million last year, I'll be sat on the bench itching to get on. But if they're itching to get on, they need to do something when they get on. We've got no nasty players, says Andy Price, who other teams fear. They're a bit of a bunch of soft lads. Andy, I've got to be fair, we are missing that bite. We are missing that old head. We keep saying it, to drag these players up and get something sorted. Absolutely terrible, says... let's get this comment on there. Ian saying, absolutely terrible all-round, wrong, get Vardy off. Big call that. Would you take Jamie Vardy off? Let me know in the comments if you take Vardy off. He hasn't done anything. He doesn't look like he's going to get anything, but we all think if anybody is ever going to score, it's going to be Jamie Vardy. Jack saying very poor first half. I think we'd all agree with Jack on that. Dan saying, don't think we've been that bad, just no final product. VAR needs looking into. Can't even drown the sorrows in a pub. No, we can't tonight. Jack's also saying, get on Kelechi Iheanacho and Perez. Andy King, somebody's saying here about Andy King would be perfect in this game, says Locks. Mark, do you know what, Mark? I don't think we are playing too bad today. He's saying we've been unlucky so far. I don't think it's been too bad. But again, if you were going to put 10 quid on who's going to score the next goal in that half, it would have been Everton on the break, because we've got to go out and go for it now. So Dale is saying, again, what's the point in having a captain who's stuck in between the sticks? If Casper wasn't captain, he'd still be doing the same thing. He'd still be shouting at everybody and telling them what to do. So just whether he's a captain in the middle of the pitch, we just need somebody to drag these lads and give them a bit of a rollicking at times and say, come on, this isn't good enough. Although Elite Prods on Periscope on Twitter says a goal for us could change everything. I agree with you on that. Arm Mark, who is watching on Twitter and Periscope, saying doesn't think James Justin is a Premier League defender. I would say, is he yet? It's looking a bit controversial. Ian saying if you want to be in the top 4, we've got to try hard. Simon saying there's no killer instinct. It's getting a bit sad to watch. It's getting hard to watch at the moment. We really needed a win today, didn't we? Adam, don't know if Adam's been controversial there, saying Chilwell's looked our best player. Not quite sure I would go that far. Adrian is saying kiss goodbye to the top 4. Let's hope not, but Chelsea are on afterwards. Brad is saying, you know, the Leicester is in lockdown. We need something to cheer about. We do need it. We really do. Jim saying they'll need a rocket up their asses. That was woeful. Ian is saying their heads have dropped. We need some confidence from somewhere. And again, Ian, this is where the older head, this is where you need somebody. You need a Steve Walsh in there. You need a Matt Elliott. You need, maybe Wes should do. Wes has never struck me as that quite sort of go and grab them and have a word type of captain. He's always led by example, Wes has. But Wes is the club captain. Perhaps we have to get him on. Get him out there. Get him in there and get this sorted. We're going to have to, you know, revert to something. Maybe we do go 3 at the back like somebody put in there. Loz is saying Albrighton is our man of the match. Is the match on Saturday, Jason? Yes, it is. And it is at the King Power. So we're hearing. Vardy is so lost. Sorry to say we need 2 strikers when the new season starts. If they score first, the telly's going off. One of my lads is watching it and he said if they score a third, that's it. You can't give in. You never know with Leicester what is going to go on with everything. Crikey, Riley, it's about kick-off time, so it's time for me to go. Join us at full time when hopefully it's been dramatic second half for Leicester City. See you afterwards.
Get on your feet! Don't sleep! Let the keys! Dig deep! Get on your feet! Don't sleep! Let the keys! Dig deep! Got to dig deep!
Come on, let's get back to it.